of you. Today the session will be on research methodology as it is the initial lectures. So we have to discuss certain things regarding research methodology. I hope that by the end of this session you will get a background knowledge about research. Good evening guys, hope you're all good today. Today's lectures will be on research methodology. I hope that this is the introduction lectures for research methodology. In your course of study, according to your curriculum, you have subject research methodology, right? By the end of the course of study, you will have to do a research and submit a research report. So therefore, I hope that this lecture will be very useful for you, not only to submit the research report, but also when you go for your postgraduate studies like your master's with research component, MPhil, PhD. So if you go for your higher studies, the India study will be research. You will have to do a research and finally you will have to submit a thesis or dissertation. So I hope that by the end of this session you will get a basic knowledge. It means the basic background knowledge about research methodology. You know, the fact is we must accept it, including me. Always, even you might study about research methodology at the College of Education. If you are HND holder, you might study about what is that? Research methodology in your HND. There is a syllabus in second year, but even myself, I was also a HND holder. Even a single word I can't remember in research methodology. That much we neglect research methodology. Even if you take undergraduate students of the state universities in Sri Lanka, they have a subject research methodology, but even themselves they neglect. As a result, finally, when they go for their masters, MPhil, they struggle doing the research because they don't have basic knowledge, background knowledge about research. So research is very important. We must accept it and understand that, but we should have basic knowledge. As we are ESL teachers, I hope that most of you are maybe English as a second language teachers in Sri Lanka. As you are doing B.Ed in English medium, I hope that you may be teachers of English. So as teachers of English, you should know about research, at least about the knowledge about action research, because for example, what is that? When comparing as far as the teaching service is concerned, there are many subjects. Out of them, English subject is very important because teachers, ESL, EFL teachers face a number of difficulties in the teaching field, right? Because the teaching process, if you enter into the classroom, you will face number of difficulties. So based on that difficulties and problems, you can carry out the research. So we'll discuss one by one. So research methodology, I hope that even the initial lectures, further students are introduced about SLQ, Sri Lankan Qualification Framework. You might be aware of it. Let me tell you again. According to the SLQ of the University Grants Commission, Sri Lanka, it begins from 1, ends in 12. It begins from GCE level and it ends in PhD. So, for instance, after completing your undergraduate program, it means your bachelor degree. If you go for your postgraduate, masters by research, MPhil, PhD, the entire course of study will be about research. It means you will have to carry out the research only. After that, you will write a thesis. So I'll tell you the difference between research and thesis or dissertation. In these lectures, I'll explain you about it. Okay. Now, for example, if you do your masters by research, that is called SLQ 10. Okay, so if you do your MPhil, that is SL Q of 11. If you do your PhD, that is SL Q of 12. So these if you do masters with research component, the entire 1 year will be research. And if you do your MPhil, the duration will be 2 years. The entire 2 years, the course of study will be about research, carrying out a research, doing a research. And if you go for your PhD program, the duration will be minimum duration will be 3 years. The entire 3 years study will be research. You will have to do a research, and finally you should submit a thesis. Okay, so that much research is very important, but we always neglect it. Even here in these lectures also, it means that in your B.Ed program also, if you think of research methodology, that is very simple subject. They will do some classes and they will show something in the slide. Then if we want to submit a research report or thesis, dissertation, we can simply copy from others and submit. Not like that. It is what we call plagiarism. It's an offense. Plagiarism means, if you check in the dictionary, for the meaning of plagiarism is stealing someone's writing. It means stealing is an offense. Okay, I hope that. So when you are submitting a research report, if you simply copy from others, that is an offense. That is plagiarism. If the authority, if the campus strictly check everything, you will be caught. So now we'll discuss. Research means research. Existing one research pandrathu. Through research, in finding innovative ideas, inventing innovative ideas. That is what we call research. It's a systematic and scientific process of gaining new knowledge, generating new knowledge. We can say research means generating new ideas through research. Okay, that is research. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. I would like to introduce some important terms used in the field of research. Introduction to some important terms used in research field. Research report, research paper or article. Otherwise you can say manuscript. Okay, thesis or dissertation. Otherwise you can say research report. These terms are same, or what is that? In different countries the different terms will be used, but the meaning is same. Then journal, symposium, conferences. We'll discuss one by one. I told you, research means generating, it's a scientific process, systematic process of gaining or generating new knowledge, finding innovative ideas, inventing innovative ideas, existing one. For example, here there are types of research. As you are English teachers, you can encounter number of difficulties. For example, what is that? Yeah, you can say using textbook, teaching textbook. It is to my knowledge, teaching textbook is difficult for most of the teachers, because based on the level of the students, as far as the eastern part of Sri Lanka is concerned, the textbook is not matched, it's mismatched, because most of the students do not understand. They will pretend like they understood, but actually they do not understand. Most of the students do not understand the textbook, because their level in English language, their level will be lower. So the standard, the textbook standard will be based on the students who are in the western central province, like that. Okay, now teaching textbook is one of the problems faced by most of the ESL teachers, including me. So why do it means that difficulties in teaching textbook at government schools in Sri Lanka. This is one of the problems. So this is existing one. Yeah, textbook is there, teaching textbooks. These are existing one. By identifying a problem, you should bring, or you should find an innovative idea. It means that through your remedies and recommendation by the end of your research, you should say something. Because not only in Sri Lanka, in every country, the policy making, curriculum designing are made according to the recommendation and solution given in research. It means by identifying a problem, if a researcher conducts a research, if a researcher carries out a research, finally, based on the problem and aim, he will give, what is that? Give a remedy or a recommendation to the problem. So through the recommendation and solutions, even in the curriculum also we can bring a change. Even in the policy we can bring a change in a country. Like that it happens. You know, it means the policy makers, curriculum designers are the professors at universities and those who are in the Sri Lankan administrative other services, Sri Lankan services. They make policy and they design curriculum like that. Okay, so research is that much important. We should give the significance. It means that importance, but we always fail to give importance to learn about research methodology. Okay, so here research report. For instance, the difference between research report, thesis or dissertation. Here, by the end of this course of study, it means that you will have to do an action research. I will teach you about action research. So if you find a problem in your teaching process, for example, if you are in the primary section or primary school, primary students will will be very low in legible handwriting, right? Handwriting. So you will have to do an action research, improving the handwriting of grade 4 students or grade 9 students. Grade 5 students. Like that, if you are in the secondary, the vocabulary will be lower. Then what is that? The basic subject verb agreement, using basic subject verb agreement in sentence, that will be one of the problems. So always the action research will be improving, the title will be improving, enhancing, developing, building. The title will start like this, because by the end of the research you should show the improvement from a particular area. For example, if you are going to do a research with the title improving the handwriting of grade 5 students, here by the end of the research you should show the improvement in handwriting, legible handwriting. That is action research. Action research does not have generalization. It means that if you submit your action research in international journal, in text journal like Scopus, other journals are there. They are in text journals. Their review will be very rigorous, very strict. So if you submit these type of articles, research articles in international journals, it will not be accepted, because it doesn't have generalization. Like that, simply you are in the classroom, you identify a problem, so you are going to improve that problem. That is the thing. By overcoming the problem, you are going to improve their handwriting or vocabulary, basic subject verb agreement, whatever it is, writing, reading, whatever it is, you are going to improve. By the end of the research, there should be improvement. Otherwise, you have to research. It means that you have to do another. You have to, what is that? Through circle, there's a circle. I will teach you everything in action research. So again, you will have to collect data and something like that until you find the improvement to a particular area. You will have to do. That is action research. Okay, you are doing. The title is the problem you identify. Your problem you find is most of the students' handwriting is very, what is that, low, very poor. Okay, based on this problem you are going to do an action research. So through conducting the action research you are going to improve the students' handwriting. Okay, that is the problem and the title, improving the handwriting of grade 5 students. Okay, you are going to do a research. Around 3 or 4 months you take to do the research. Here this is research. You are doing research. Okay. So after the research process is over, the data collection and everything is over, you will start writing your research report, thesis or dissertation. This is the difference between research and the research report, thesis or dissertation. for my masters at Kalan University. My title was pronunciation problems encountered by ESL learners in Sri Lanka. Pronunciation problem is one of the primary problems among most of the ESL EFL learners around the world, not only in Sri Lanka, around the world. So there are a number of previous studies which have been conducted with regard to pronunciation problems and difficulties. By identifying practical problem, I carried out this research for 1 year. After finishing the data collection and everything, I started writing my thesis. So finally I submitted my thesis at the department, not the research. So this is the difference between research and thesis. Okay, but the thesis and dissertation are same. The different names will be used in different countries, but the term is same. The meaning is same for both terms. Not only go for 3 terms, research report, something like that. Even for my bachelor degree, I submitted a research report. I did an action research improving the speaking ability of ESL learners using language games. That was my title. So wherever you are in Sri Lanka, if you do English classes, even for adults, speaking will be very poor among most of the students, right? So that is one of the primary problems faced by the teachers. So by identifying that problem, my title was improving the speaking ability of ESL learners in Sri Lanka. Okay, so like that I did. Journal means, now I am coming to research paper, article or manuscript. Research article, you can say. In Tamil, we can say Ayu Katturai. Here the difference between research article and thesis. Think that each and every journal, symposium, conference of local and international universities and international journals will consist of a template. It means that word limitation, page limitation will be there. Based on that template format only, we should prepare our research article. Okay? Sorry. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. Here, so once you have prepared the research article, you will submit it in a journal, symposium or conference. Each and every university, every faculty will have a journal, symposium, conference. They will call for research articles to submit. So once the paper is accepted by the reviewers, that is what we call peer-reviewed journals. Peer-reviewed journals means there will be 2 reviewers. They will review your paper. Now, first of all, I tell you how to prepare a research article. So the maximum number of word limitation will be between 3000 to 8000 words. Some journals, some symposium, conference may limit the word limitation between 3000 to 5000 words. Some journals symposium may limit the word limitation between 5000 to 8000 words. Like the maximum number of words almost will be 8000. Okay. So the page limitation will be around 5 to 7 or 5 to 10, like that it will be. Okay, so there will be template given based on that. I will discuss everything one by one. Okay, so this is research article, but here think of thesis, dissertation. For my masters, the word limitation was over 20,000 words, over 90 pages. The total word limitation for my thesis was 25,000. So this is the difference between thesis. Dissertation is used to be, to obtain highest academic qualification. Okay, for example, research report. If you do your postgraduate program, by the end of the program, you will have to do a research and submit a research report in your field. Okay, that will be most probably, if you are in the field of education. Action research is used only in education. Mostly in the education field, action research only will be used. Even if you go for your master's MED, Master of Education, I think as I concerned, you will have to do an action research like that. Okay, but other cases, if you do your masters in English, linguistics, literature, other field, the research maybe other survey research, under descriptive research, there will be a number of types of researches. Then other things you can do like that. Okay, even experimental research you can do in the field of linguistics. Okay, fine. So once the paper is prepared, you will submit the research article, research paper in journals, symposium and conferences. Recently, so far, with the help of Almighty Allah, Alhamdulillah, I have published more than 10 papers, research articles based on, I did all my research. Inshallah, in next lecture, I will show my research articles for your understanding. I did all my research just based on practical problems I encounter in my teaching process. So recently I published a research paper in Kalam International Journal of the Southeastern University of Sri Lanka. If you submit your research article in local universities, their review will be very strict, rigorous, because there will be number of corrections. Even most of the paper will be rejected, because in Kalam Journal only 12 papers were published. God grace, with the help of Almighty Allah, one out of the 12 papers, one paper was mine. So like that. Then recently Southeastern University called for research articles in international symposium. In that symposium also I submitted a paper which was accepted, and recently I presented. So here in the symposium and conference, you will present your research article. Once the paper is accepted, they will call you for presentation. You will present your research. But in journal, you do not present. If the paper is accepted, they will publish it. Okay. So when you present your article, here there's a difference. Now you can ask a question: why we do research articles, research papers? What is the benefit? What are the advantages in doing research? In publishing research articles? We as teachers will never realize the value of research articles. Most of us do not do not have the knowledge about research articles and publishing research papers like that. But my ambition is to become a lecturer at a state university. So for that I work hard. It means if you are in the higher education institutions like universities, B.Ed and other international universities, you may have the clear knowledge about publishing research articles, because if you go for lecturing interviews at state universities and even the higher educational institutions, they will consider research articles. It means that if you publish a research article in international journal, in-text journal, that is peer-reviewed in-text journals, that authentic journals will be there. In upcoming lectures, I will show you how to check the authenticity and indexing of the journals. There will be ISSN, International Standard Serial Number. So by clicking the number, ISSN portal is there. If you type the ISSN number of the particular journal, it will simply display everything. This journal is from this country, it was registered in this country, it has been indexed in the following indexings, like that, how many papers are published every year, then the value of the paper in a journal, everything will be displayed. If you simply type the ISSN number of a particular journal in the ISSN portion, like that you can check the authenticity. It means reliability of the journal. And there will be fake journals, so you can before submitting your research article, you should check everything. Otherwise, there will be useless, because when you publish a paper, they will charge, publication charge will be in USD. It means that it starts from 30 USD to even 500, 600 USD there, like that. Okay, then if you publish a research article in international journal, the points will be maybe 3, I think 2 or 3. But if you present research article in symposium conference, the points will be 1 or 0.5, I think, maybe, like that. Another thing is, if you once if you have published research article in Scopus in text journal, in indexing, Scopus is the highest indexing. It has very good demand. It matters a lot in the interview. Once you have published a paper in Scopus journal, so it will be very valuable in that they will be considered in interview, like that. Okay, you know how much it is valuable. If you publish one article in a Scopus journal, it earns 4 points, 4 marks in interview. At the same time, if you publish a book, so think that writing a book and publishing a book, how much time it will take, then how what is that, how hard work we should do, like that. So after writing a book in a relevant field, if so think that you publish a book in what is that, or authentic publication, you publish a book. Think that இந்த புக் பப்ளிகேஷனுக்கும் 4 பாயிண்ட்ஸ் தான் இன்டர்வியூவில். ஒரு ரிசர்ச் ஆர்டிக்கல் ஸ்கோபாஸ் ஜேர்னலில் பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணுறதுக்கும் 4 மார்க்ஸ் தான். அப்போ திங்க் தட் ஹவு மச் த பப்ளிஷிங் ஆர்டிக்கல் இன் what is that Scopus journal is valuable. So it is equal to publishing a book. Think that writing a book is how much difficult. So that much it's valuable. Okay, so even for everything, research article will be useful. It means for expanding our knowledge. For example, if you do a research in a particular field, like for example tense or reported speech, then if you take other things like learning difficulties, speech disorders, like other grammar areas, and other skills like reading, writing, speaking, listening, then other subcomponents like what is that? Other subcomponents of speaking, writing, reading, listening. If you do a research, you will research a lot and you will expand your knowledge in the particular field. Your knowledge will be expanded. நல்ல ஒரு என்ன சொல்ற அந்த ஃபீல்டில் ஒரு கிளியர் நாலேஜ் எடுக்கும். ஒரு ஃபீல்டில் ஒரு இதில் ரிசர்ச் செஞ்சோன்னா, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் difficulties faced by the ESL learners in using present perfect tense in their written communication, like spoken communication, oral communication. So when you do a research in this field, you will research everything. You will analyze and you will review a number of books, previous research articles, other conference papers, and website notes, and everything. You will review everything. So when you are reviewing everything, you will expand your knowledge in the particular field. So we should be interested in the field of research, because if you are interested in the field of research, if you enter into your class, you will see everything in research perspective. You will everything. So your perspective will be, your view will be identifying problem. It means doing a research based on that problem, like that. Okay, Adhan is here. In 2 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes we'll start and take a break. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Now we'll come to the point. So this is research article, and this is the value of publishing research articles in journals, conference, conference and symposium. Okay, so now we'll come to the point, research. What is research? You can pronounce as research or otherwise research. Definition for the term research. Research is a logical and systematic search for new and useful information on a particular topic. So for generating or finding a new knowledge, gaining a new knowledge, new ideas, new information, we do research. It's a systematic and logical process. Okay. Research is important in both scientific and non-scientific fields. So even in the scientific field, research is used. So what is that? The invention, innovative ideas are given through carrying out, conducting research. Like in non-scientific field means like field of education, geography and other things. Other field of study will be non-scientific field. So in this field or fields also, research are done, research are carried out. Think that you are in the field of English. Here in what is that? In the field of English language teaching and learning only, the teachers will identify, will encounter number of difficulties, problems. So when the research will be valuable, the research will have the demand. When you are doing a research by identifying based on a problem, by identifying a problem-based research will be very valuable. There are number of there are types of research like historical research and other analytical research. Here these types of researches will be done. For example, in the field of literature, if you are doing a research, you will not identify a problem. By having existing one, you will analyze the thing and do a research. For example, if you take Kenya, you are going to do a case study, the education system of Kenya before independence. This research will be descriptive research. Under descriptive research, the case study is one of the types. The case study will come under descriptive research. Descriptive research is very vast area. The survey research and other researches will come under descriptive. What is a comparative study? These researches will come under descriptive research. It's a very vast area. Most of the research will be descriptive research. Even for PhD, the students, the researchers to students to researchers, descriptive researchers, like that. Okay. So if you are doing a research case study about Kenya, case study means investigating investigating an individual or place, a single individual place or thing. That is case study. Here, if you are investigating the education system of Kenya before independence, this study will be descriptive research. Okay. So here you will not identify a problem. But the research questions will be formulating research question or hypothesis is very important. Under research process, I will teach you everything. So formulating research questions is very important soon after identifying the problem, because based on the research questions only you will do the research. Okay. So here when you are formulating research questions, you will be very clear. The research questions will be very clear and concise, because by identifying a problem, if you do a research, the questions will start like why do the ESL teachers face difficulties in teaching textbook? Why do the ESL learners encounter number of difficulties in pronunciation? Why do the students are very poor in handwriting? Why do the ESL learners face difficulties in speaking and or in listening? Like that, why question will come under when you are doing a research by identifying a problem. When you are doing historical research, analytical research, like other types of researches, the questions will be how was the education system of Kenya before independence? Like for example, if you do a research in the field of literature, for example, here there are number of literature, because the ethnical conflict in Sri Lanka, for example, you are going to do a research based on the post-colonial English literature in Sri Lanka. So when you are doing how was the ethnical conflicts in Sri Lanka, how was the how the what is that, how does the post-colonial English literature deal with the ethnical conflict in Sri Lanka, like that, the how, what question will come on for, what is that, for the descriptive research, no, not descriptive, historical research, analytical research, like that. Okay, so it generates new ideas. As I already told you, it generates new ideas. A research cannot be carried out without a problem. We can do a research, we can carry out a research, but most of the researches will be based on a problem, based on the problem. By identifying a problem only, the research will be carried out. But you also, in the field of English language teaching, learning, so when you are doing research, most of the researches will be based on a problem. By identifying a problem only, you will do a research. Okay. Here in my case, I think except one or two, most of the except one or two, all my research articles were based on the problem, based on practical problems I face in my teaching and students learning process. Okay, so I hope that you might get clear picture about research, and I hope that the definition is very concise and clear. Next one we'll discuss, very important thing, steps of research process. If you clearly understand the steps of a research process, you will be able to do a research on your own without getting others' help. Very important thing. Very first step is identifying the problem. Identifying the problem is very important. Okay, so here these days I am doing a research. Lack of vocabularies and oral communicative barriers among the ESL learners in Sri Lanka. It's a crucial problem. I based my study from selected 3 schools in Mudur education zone. One school is town school, the other one is remote school, the other one is very remote school. So I based 3 selected schools in my study. For the primary factor for the oral communicative barrier is lack of vocabulary, because while you are speaking English, suddenly why you struggle. On that particular on the right time, the particular word does not come. That is the reason for oral communicative, primary factor for oral communicative barrier. Okay, so my research is lack of vocabulary, and as a result of lack of vocabulary, most of the learners face difficulties in speaking English fluently, because the fluency is interrupted. Fluency is affected due to lack of vocabulary. When we speak, there should be fluency rather than accuracy. When you are speaking, you no need to worry about grammar and accuracy, everything, grammatical accuracy. Even you make grammatical errors, that it doesn't. What is that? It's not considered in oral communication. So in spoken discourse. Okay. So for fluent speaking in a language, we should have enough vocabulary, sufficient vocabulary. Then only the oral communication will be flow. So the primary factor for oral communication is lack of vocabulary. So based on this problem, I am doing a research, and I am going to publish it recently. Okay. The next thing is, so by identifying that problem, I am doing the research. Review literature. What is review literature? Reviewing literature. So most of us are not aware about theoretical review, literature review, or reviewing literature, something like that. Reviewing literature means reviewing secondary sources, secondary data. That there are two types of data: primary data, secondary data. It is used in the field of research. In research field, it is used. Primary data means it is collected among the participants, among the sample. Because, for example, if you are doing a research based on the school students, so you will collect primary data from the students, among the students, not from other external sources. So the secondary data means you will collect relevant data from books, journal research articles, conference papers, published thesis dissertation or unpublished dissertation, then website pages, other social media and newspaper. Through these external sources you will collect the data. This is what we call secondary data. Okay, so you will review literature. It means that, for example, if you are doing a research like of vocabulary and oral communicative barriers, there will be number of related relevant research articles which might be published locally and internationally. So you should go through the relevant related research articles and other books and everything. You should get clear idea about it, basic idea. In this research, what is the problem of this study? How the what is the research questions or hypotheses have been formulated, what is the aim of this particular study, and what are the objectives of this study, then how the data have been collected, what are the instruments have been used in this study. Like that, when you review previous studies, you will get clear idea about it. After that only you should come to the next process step. Formulate a hypothesis or research question. Very important. Research. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis means it's in plural form, right? Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Hypothesis is it's irregular noun. It's one of the problems. Identifying irregular nouns is one of the problems among the students, right? You might face this problem when formulating, when pluralizing the words. If it is in the irregular nouns, the students will get confused and they struggle to formulate. It means that pluralize the particular word, particular noun. Like that, it's one of the problems. Okay, hypothesis means you are guessing, your assumption. It might be like this. So my hypothesis in my oral communicative barrier, my hypothesis is, my guessing is, but the hypothesis should be strictly tested in the data collection, data analysis. In the data collection, it should be tested. If I say the primary factor for oral communication barrier is, communicative barrier is lack of vocabulary. If I formulate a hypothesis here, I should test this hypothesis in the data collection. Okay, so then it should be tested in the data collection and in the data analysis, in the findings. The hypothesis should be what is that? It may be 100% correct, maybe 100% wrong. Doesn't matter. You are guessing, your assumption, like that. Okay. So when you are formulating research question and hypothesis, you should be very very careful, because you should focus whether you test your hypothesis in the data collection, like that. Okay. So next thing is prepare research design. Research design means blueprint. What is blueprint? It's a framework based on, for example, if you are constructing a building, you should have a blueprint, right? You should have a plan. It means design. Based on that design only, you will build that particular building or house. Okay. So here there should be research design. In the research design, you should include what is your aim, then what the research about, what the research is about, then what type of research you are doing, then what are the instruments you are using, how you are going to collect data, what are the sampling techniques you are going to use to select the sample, then what is that, what kind of methods you are going to use for data analysis. Like that, there should be a research design. Research design should be very concise, simple and concise. One more thing I want to share with you. What is the language we should use when you are writing research? Informal, formal, academic language. What is the language you should use? So it's not a physical class to get your opinions. It's one-way communication. I can't do anything. I can't get your opinions. So in research field, in research writing, report writing, and other things, this is what we call academic writing. The language should be academic language. So here there are characteristics for academic language. I'm not going to discuss these things here. In another lecture, we'll discuss about the characteristics of academic language. Okay. So the language should be academic language. In academic writing, the language should be very clear, simple and clear, because the reader should clearly understand. You can't show your colors here. Okay. So prepare research design. After that, selecting instruments, research instruments for data collection. Okay. Problem identify panniyach. Related articles, related research review panniyach. Hypothesis-led research question formulate panniyach, form panniyach. Research design form panniyach, prepare panniyach. Then you are going to select research instruments. There are two types of instruments, qualitative and quantitative instruments. We'll discuss about data collection tools later. Then after selecting research instruments, data collection tools, what is that? Types of research here. Okay. Data collection. So by using the research instruments, you will collect the primary data. Okay. So here in the data collection, even secondary data, primary data, both will be included. Okay. Both the secondary data and the primary data can be collected. Okay. The secondary data will be discussed here in the throughout the research. You can use the secondary data with proper citation. There will be citation and referencing. I will discuss these things later. Okay. Then data analysis. Here, after the data collection is over, the collected data will be analyzed for findings and results and findings. So to find out the results, you will analyze the data. It's one of the chapters. Usually I'll discuss these things later. After that, you will start writing your research report, thesis or dissertation. This is research, major research process. But what is that? You can say if you Google, if you search in the website, in each and every page, there will be different research process steps for doing for carrying out a research process. But no need to be get confused. This is the I'm not going to say this is the right one. The other website other web pages are not reliable, fake. I don't say like this. But here, this is you can consider these things as research process, and based on this, if you carry out a research, you can do a smart research. Okay, you can prepare smart research article and thesis or dissertation. Okay, fine. Now, what is time? Time. Okay, major types of research. Now we are going to discuss about the types of research. Descriptive research, analytical research, basic research, applied or action research, qualitative, quantitative, experimental or conceptual research. These are major types of research. We'll discuss one by one. Descriptive research. Already I told you, I discussed about descriptive research. There will be there are subcomponents, subtopics. It means that there are types of descriptive researches like case study, survey research, and comparative study. like that. There are types of research, descriptive researches. Analytical research means analyzing the existing one. For in the field of literature, if you are doing a research, the research will be analytical, descriptive analytical research, like that you can do. Under analytical research, the historical research will come, the other review, something like that. Then basic research means basically we do simply, we are doing, if you are doing a research, that is basic research. Then apply to action research means action research differs from other types of researches like descriptive analytical research. I told you it doesn't have generalization. Okay, so if you are in the classroom, if you find a problem, you can your aim will be to improve and improve their ability, students' ability in that particular field, particular area. So that is action research. By the end of the research, action research, you should show the improvement from the students in that particular problem. For example, I told you, if you are doing research with the aim of improving the handwriting of grade 5 students, by the end of the research, students' handwriting should be high when comparing earliest one. Okay, when comparing earlier. Qualitative research means based on quality. Quantitative research means based on quantity, number. Then experimental research, it is mostly used in the field of science. But here, even in non-scientific field also it can be used. For example, there are a number of teaching approaches, right? Teaching methods. Like, you will study these things later in English language teaching, ELT methodology. Grammar translation method, GTM, and direct method. These methods were used in the 18th and 19th century. It was designed for second foreign language learning teaching process. Still at government schools in Sri Lanka, we use grammar translation method, simply translating the target language to the mother tongue. So what we are doing at school is the grammar translation method. Including me, we are reading that what is that textbook, and we simply translate it into the mother tongue Tamil. So this is grammar translation. More focus will be given for reading and writing only. The very less focus will be given for speaking, listening, improving pronunciation, like that. So what we are doing at school is grammar translation method. Most of the teachers, and that is, school system is like that. Even the, what is that? Even the people, the respective authorities like school management and the zonal administration expect the same thing. You no need to improve their speaking and listening skill. So no need to improve their pronunciation. Focus only, what is that? Grammar, reading, writing. Because exam-oriented education system. So the system, if it is language, that should be spoken. But when we are speaking in English, we are not allowed. It means that even the students do not like speaking English. Even the teacher speaks, they neglect, ignore it. Like that. This is grammar translation method. Direct method means even a single word you can't use in the mother tongue. Everything should be expressed, exposed. What is that? By using the second language. It means that if you are doing English, English is the second language, Tamil is the mother tongue for Tamil speaking people. Here, even if you are going to introduce an unfamiliar word, I think that in that situation you don't have picture really, and nothing. Even the what is that? Modern learning aid, teaching aid, you don't have to show to introduce the vocabulary. So here also you can introduce that particular word in the mother tongue. It should be, what is that? It should be translate, means the meaning should be explained, expressed to the students using by expressing the meaning of the particular word, or otherwise showing the picture or realia. Like that only we can introduce the unfamiliar words, new words. Like that, so the difference between the grammar translation method and the direct method is this. Okay, so here you can do an experimental research. For 3 months you can teach English by using grammar translation method. Another 3 months you can teach English to the students using direct method. So after 3 months you are doing an experiment. After 3 months you can see the improvement. So which methodology, which approach is useful to improve the communicative competence of the students? Like that you can see the improvement. Even in non-scientific field you can do experimental research. So descriptive research, yes. Okay, and the types of research, descriptive research. The purpose of the descriptive research is to describe the state of affairs as it exists in present. I told you, when you are doing a research in non-scientific field, the existing one will be investigated. When you are investigating, even in existing one, there will be problem. Based on that problem, we can do a research. That is descriptive research. Here, subdivisions of descriptive research. There are subdivisions: survey research, case study, comparative study. So here, when you are doing, it means that I told you there are two approaches: grammar translation method, direct method. By using both method, you can do a you can do a comparative study, like the contribution of the first language for the development of second language, interference of first language to the one of the barriers in interference of first language is the barrier for second language acquisition learning. So like that, by comparing two languages, first language and the second language, you can do a comparative study, comparative research. Survey research means collecting opinions among the participants. Most probably for survey research, we can use research instruments like test, interview, questionnaire. These things can be used for collecting data among the participants, among the people. Okay, so case study means investigating an individual or place, person, it's not person, place, thing, like that. I told you, if you are going to investigate Kenya, that is case study. If you are going to investigate a person, an individual, that is case study. Okay. Here, analytical research, it involves in-depth study and evaluation of available information in an attempt to explain complex phenomena. Okay, so what is that? Evaluation of available information in an attempt to explain complex phenomena. I told you, in the field of literature, if you are using, for example, here, most of the literary works, local in Sri Lankan and other American, British literary works, deal with war and other ethnical conflicts, racial violence, like that. So based on the racial violence, ethnical conflict, war, if you are doing a research, by using the existing information, you will do a research, you will analyze it, and finally here you are not doing the research based on that problem. You are going to analyze and finally you will conclude it. There will not be recommendation for that. Okay, so under the researcher has to use facts or information already available and analyze these to make a critical evaluation. For critical evaluation, you can do this research. Use facts or information only. So only the fact, you can in academic writing, academic language, you can use your opinion. You must use only the facts. Fact should be given in the academic writing, not the opinions. Okay, so has to use facts or information already available and analyze these facts or information to make a critical evaluation, to give a critical evaluation. Okay, subdivisions of analytical research, historical research, philosophical research, review research. Historical research means history of cigarette. Okay, here so when we are investigating it can come under case study also. When we are investigating cigarette was the history of Sri Lanka, history of Sri Lankan education, like that it will be historical research. Okay. Okay, types of research, applied research or action research. Finding a solution to an immediate problem. I told you, an immediate problem. So soon after, if you are in the classroom, you will find an immediate problem, right? For that immediate problem, you should give the solution. For that only we do action research. Okay, action research is mostly used in education field. Mostly it is used in education field. Okay, it is important to teachers. Every teacher should have the knowledge about doing action research. Okay. So fourth one, basic of a fundamental research. It concerns with generalizations and formulation of a theory. Okay. So basic research, fundamental research is not used mostly. Yeah? Okay. Quantitative research based on measurements of quantitative or amount, like weighing, measuring, examples of quantitative research. Then qualitative research means phenomena relating to quality or kind. Characters, personality, main kind are examples for qualitative research. Experimental research related to some abstract idea or theory to develop new concepts or to interpret existing ones. Okay, I told you about experimental research. Mostly used in scientific field. Okay, common structure of a research paper. These things can be discussed in the next lectures, because we'll wind up this lecture with it. Here, common structure of a research article we have to discuss. After that, common structure of a thesis we can discuss. Then we'll move one by one. Okay, in upcoming lectures I will do. I hope that you might get clear idea about basic idea about at least a basic background idea, knowledge about research methodology and how to do a research and how to write research article. Okay, so we'll wind up this session with it. The thing is, I should apologize. It's one-way communication. If it is physical lectures, we can discuss together. The communication will be two-way. There will be rapport. But here in this case, I can only speak. You can't respond. For that, I strongly apologize. Thank you for your cooperation.